the last time I actually saw you was at well, besides the Jay's game nights birthday. Yes, I was gonna say.
Yeah, the game nights don't count, right? That's virtual.
Yeah, they don't.
Well, they count, but they don't count.
virtual barely counts in general.
Although this day and age, maybe it does.
Well, this counts more because you're actually like interacting with the person. Not that the game nights, like you're doing a little more interaction here.
It's conversational.
Yes. We hope for the show it's conversational.
Although a new game pack just came out, so we're gonna have to have game night.
Did it get released?
Yeah.
How's the reviews? Have you seen anything?
I only saw one or two, and they said the games are really good. It's released, purchased, and installed. So
nice.
We'll have to do that soon.
Yes.
5 new games.
Yeah, I don't think there's like a lot of repeats in there, right?
None this time. Sometimes they'll do like sequels,
Quiplash sequel 3 or whatever. Yeah.
But they're all new.
Maybe they got creative.
Yeah, I mean, there's always at least one like really, really good game in each pack. So,
and one really horrible.
Yeah, usually. Yeah.
We should talk about this in the podcast.
How often do they release games?
Annually.
Oh, it's only once a year?
Yeah, and each time it's a pack of 5 games.
See, I would have guessed it was less than that. I would have guessed like every other year. I'm surprised it's once a year. I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Mark had it the other way. I thought it was once every whenever they felt like it.
Yeah, no, it just seems like that because when I started having game nights, I had like 5 packs already, so it seemed like there was all these games, but that was like years of built-up games.
Years of collecting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Also, I know because I thought you had a bunch of games. So I just figured they were like. Also, why wouldn't you be like pandemic? This is our time. Let's just release one every week.
Yeah,
exactly.
There's 8. The 8th pack just came out, so there's 40 games now.
Okay.
Actually, there's 41 because Drawful is like a separate one you could buy. Yeah, but it's like it's such a good idea. It's like Pictionary, but this shit is so hard. Like stuff you'd never be able to draw. Like the first time I played, I got like Purple Rain. How the fuck are you supposed to draw Purple Rain? Like
draw a cloud with a purple raindrop.
Well, yeah.
Well, I imagine you can't. Yeah, well, I imagine you can't use color.
You can't use color?
I don't remember.
If you use color, then it's easy. If you can't, I have no freaking clue.
I don't remember.
Do you know how to draw the Prince symbol?
Maybe Drawful 2 has color. I don't know. I don't know. I just drew a cloud with rain, and then I wrote the word purple next to it.
I was going to say, the game is set in the ideal world where no one sees color.
Yeah.
No one can get canceled then.
What is up, Andrew? We are just about to start your hopefully favorite comedy pie. Thank you for the spreadsheet, by the way, Andrew. That was awesome.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, that's freaking awesome. We should address
that. What's the spreadsheet?
We'll tell you about it on the show because it was awesome.
Have you guys watched any of Chappelle's new Netflix special?
Not yet.
I have not, but I did see his rebuttal to being canceled. I just watched it for like 5 minutes at like some kind of Netflix event.
Okay. I only watched the first 15 minutes of it. I have to watch the rest of it. It's funny, but he makes some point. There was just there's a rapper called The Baby who I guess in the past had murdered someone. Not a big deal. Gets to go on with his career. More recently, he said some shit about gay people, and they're canceling him. And he's like, he murdered someone. That's cool. We can still listen to his music. The gay, it's about gay people. We're done.
Same with Snoop Dogg. That guy's like everybody's idol.
He's doing the Super Bowl halftime.
Yeah, exactly. He killed somebody.
It's also gonna. I'm very excited. That's the best Super Bowl halftime they're gonna have in years.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think hip hop. I don't think hip hop translates live very well.
You know what doesn't translate? The Weeknd. That shit was terrible.
That was bad.
It hasn't
we get funny memes out of that whole maze thing, though. At least that's about all we got.
What was the last good one? Like Aerosmith?
Aerosmith was good. Yeah.
Did Petty do one?
I was saying, did the Stones do one?
Yeah,
these are all like 7-8 years ago, though. Like,
yeah. I remember Aerosmith with Britney Spears. I vaguely recall that. That was a long time ago.
I think it was like Backstreet Boys too, or something.
I have to say,
no, it was Timberlake because she was dating him.
Nothing has been as bad as the Weeknd. I thought the Weeknd was the low point of it.
You know why? I was expecting something a little more than that too.
Somebody
I thought he might have some talent.
Wasn't Beyonce? She lip synced the whole thing. I would have to put that up with the worst if you're lip syncing the whole thing.
I mean, also, I'm an idiot. I actually thought The Weeknd was a full band. I didn't realize it was one guy named The Weeknd, so I was immediately disappointed to learn it was one person.
He not only is one day, he's two.
I am constantly amazed at how little about pop culture Mark knows. It is like the funniest shit.
Okay, I have a question. Jay, start the
show. But he makes up for it with his Knicks knowledge.
Let me fill my drink. I'll start the show.
Start the show, because I have some questions about Twitter.
We're talking about.
I don't fucking understand. So Jay tried to explain to me off the show. I don't understand. I'm going to have to explain this to me.
About Twitter?
About Twitter, yeah. I just don't understand pop culture. People write things on Twitter that I can't follow. Let's wait till start the show and then I can ask the question.
Yeah, get him. What are we drinking?
I am drinking peach soju.
Okay.
Oh.
By the way, Martin, I listened to half or a third of your
next one.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Thanks. And we had fun.
Somebody told me it's their favorite episode of the year.
When we just rail on players.
Yeah. I mean, it's good because we get to make fun of like everybody in the league in like 2 hours. I like it.
We don't actually. It's not all Knicks. It's mostly Knicks. But
although I'm really Rozier and Norm Powell have been injured all season, so I'm off to a great start.
You have IR spots? I forgot if I asked you that.
Yeah, but I put Klay Thompson in one of them. And then right. I drafted DiVincenzo. I picked up DiVincenzo and put him in the IR spot.
Wouldn't you want Norm Powell over DiVincenzo?
Yeah, right now I have both. I'm thinking about maybe just dropping DiVincenzo. I mean, he's like a career 10-point-a-game player.
I mean, he's a fine player, but he's more helpful to the Bucks than he is to your fantasy team.
The problem
is
a
one-dimensional.
Like I'm really thin at point guard.
He's
like scary
point
thin.
Guard?
He can play point. Apparently, he's slot into the potential point guard spot.
I did not. I thought he was more of a shooting guard / small forward. But okay.
Because right now all I have is Patty Mills and
Patty Mills,
Caruso, and Rozier, who hasn't played yet.
Oh, let me change my name here.
It's not great.
It's not a great point guard setup.
No. Okay. You had something.
I preferred calling you Kathleen, but that's cool.
It's all right. It's my pseudonym. But that's when I transition.
All right.
I shouldn't bring that up.
I know. We're going to get
not
canceled.
If you don't want to get canceled.
Andrew, are you going to cancel us? If he says no, we're safe.
I can't get canceled. It was never started.
Oh, we got Anthony too. Okay. Well, 2 people can cancel us now.
No one has mentioned, by the way, there's a backpack brand called Trans. You used to wear on your back a backpack that said the word trans on it.
There
you guys not remember this?
All right, I'm going to start the show.
Hello, baby. Hello, nasty. Hello, there. Hello. I say hello. Hello, friend. Well, hello, little girl. Hello, my treacherous friends. Hello, operator. The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
Everybody, welcome to the Brink of Sanity, episode 374. I have Mark and Martin with me today. How you guys doing?
Double M.
Jay.
Double M.
What's going on? Jay, I have a question. Maybe Martin can help me. I'm going to ask Martin first to see if Jay always accuses me of not understanding pop culture. And he's right. I don't.
It's not an accusation if it's like absolutely 100% true.
Right. If I sue Jay,
it's more of an observation.
If I was like, Jay is defaming me, Jay would be like, truth is a defense. And the court would be like, yes, it is. But I have a question. So I feel like Jay knows also some of the stuff that like most people do not know. So Martin, he's
pretty well rounded, I would say. Sure.
Yeah, Martin, do you spend some time on Twitter?
I do. I actually probably watch it too much. I look at it too much.
Okay. So my question to you is, what does ratio mean?
Ratio.
When someone replies, someone goes, ratio, gotcha, ratio. What does that mean?
Is that outnumbered? No? I don't know ratio. All right, Jay, go ahead.
Jay.
Teach me something, Uncle Jay.
So when you tweet something, it's considered a bad tweet if you have a lot of comments and not a lot of likes. So if somebody doesn't like your tweet and they're too lazy to actually say like you suck, they'll just write the word ratio, and that ruins your ratio. And oh my God, if I do a tweet with a bad ratio, I don't know what to do. Ruins my whole week.
Well, I'm glad I learned that. That will waste space in my brain where I can remember something actually more important.
I was explaining that to Mark like yesterday, and somebody tried to ratio us like 5 minutes later, and I just sent him a screenshot.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I don't understand though. Like, how did this suddenly become a thing where someone was like, more comments than likes, you suck?
I mean,
I don't know,
because most people are lazy, and if you do a good tweet, they'll just hit the like button. So like
the heart button or whatever.
It's hard to get more comments than likes. Most tweets have a lot more likes than comments.
But I don't know. Does anyone get this? That they get a responsive ratio, and they're like, "There goes my day."
Apparently, people do, because I don't think people would do it if people didn't get upset.
I mean, it's like
it's their life
being found guilty. Like, I've proved you wrong in like Twitter. So if you go on something like Reddit and just another one of these social media, like you could, and a lot of comment sections have like you could upvote or downvote something.
Yeah.
Right.
Seems simple. Why don't they do that? That way you get rid
I
of,
actually like that feature in Reddit. I think that's kind of cool.
I usually like it. There was once where I asked like a question in the proper forum, and I got like 4 thumbs down. I'm like, do you guys just not like questions? It was like a PlayStation modding thread, and I asked like a question about PlayStation modding, and they're just like, fuck you. I was like, okay, I'm going to leave now.
I have to say though, I prefer
Makes
the
them
down.
feel better.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer the downvote to people being like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" Like people like go off on you on Twitter. You're like, and be like very aggressively like assholes. You're like, just maybe downvote. Maybe that'd be easier than the vile shit we have on there.
Well, I made a joke about the Nets, and we're kind of friends.
The movie?
we're kind of friends with a guy who does a Nets podcast, and he retweeted
Oh, the
us.
Nets. I thought you meant The Net with Sandra Bullock. A fine movie that, no, it's
I saw that in the theaters, actually.
The Nets?
Yeah.
The one she like her fall up to speed?
Yeah.
It was a very early movie, movie.
This is a really, yeah.
There you go.
That was the whole
All right,
thing.
go
They
ahead.
they went on the
Nets.
internet, and everyone's like, "Ooh, this is an action movie." Yeah. So then like all these Nets fans started yelling at us, and it's like it was just weird because like one guy said ratio, and then I had to show that to Mark, and like all these other people are just like super mad because I pointed out that their second and third best players are Mills and Brown. And
It was funny just because Jay texted me that, and I was like, "That's funny, Jay. You should put it on Twitter." And then Jay puts it on Twitter and just gets so much hate from that.
But from just Nets fans?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, like
Okay, so
What? All 5 of them?
I said this tweet is getting more attendance than Nets playoff games.
You know what you should have said, actually? You should have said, "I bet James Harden doesn't have to do a commercial to get someone to attend this tweet."
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, my next question is, so that one I kind of understood at least when Jay explained it to me.
All right,
This
so I'm
next
0 for 1.
So this next one, Jay told me, I did not understand. Jay gave me an explanation, and okay, what does it mean when someone responds to your tweet by saying rent or pay the rent?
Rent free.
Or rent free. So I can't get the goddamn expression right.
See, I don't know this one, but I'll say you're wasting space. That's my guess. Did I get it?
I mean, Jay, I don't know the
Do we have a bell or a buzzer? Do we have
ding,
anything?
ding, ding, ding.
It's no, it would be bam. It's when you're always thinking about something, they're living rent free in your head. So they're not.
I get it. All right.
Shit.
All right. I have shown my age. I will now go into a deep.
It's like a way of saying you're obsessed.
Depression.
You're obsessed with
You're
something.
obsessed. Yeah. Okay. I'm following that now. I did not follow when Jay explained it to me before. So the Nets are living rent free in my mind because I'm keep thinking about them.
Because we tweeted about them once all season. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you're always thinking about the Nets.
Yeah.
Who the fuck makes up this shitty lingo on Twitter?
I don't know. I
Well,
just
they
find
try
it
to sound cool.
I just find it funny that I have to be like your guide through your Twitter experience.
You're my Twitter Urban Dictionary.
You're Twitter Sherpa.
Yeah, seriously. I read it. I'm like, what the?
I
Mark,
don't know. I
Mark,
feel stupid. I feel really dumb now. This is 0 for 2. Let's put me down into the grave. Let's do it.
I'm out of one. I'm out of lingo. But
that was
what
just
a DM is?
that was just this week. That was just our interactions this week.
We should just. There should be a feature every podcast. What stupid Twitter thing happened to the account this week?
What thing on Twitter did Marc not understand?
There you go. Jay, I'm impressed how you know this.
I'm not.
Then again, I'm also I feel kind of sad.
Yeah, I'm ashamed that I know this. I don't like that.
I'm impressed and sad at the same time.
How did you figure out the rent-free one?
I thought that one was like pretty intuitive.
Oh.
I don't know. Okay. I thought that one's been around a while. I thought that was.
Was it on the CPA? Was it on the CPA?
It was. It was on the third part. The one I passed right away.
Someone responded by putting a GIF, whatever, of that skit where where the little girl is the landlord, and it's Will
Ferrell.
You guys know what I'm talking? Will Ferrell, basically, and he's and she's at the door being like, "Pay your rent." And I saw the GIF, and I thought the one was just being funny. I didn't realize they were insulting us.
Yes, every comment, every response to that tweet was an insult.
Oh, I like that one.
So no Knicks fans stood up?
We got the ratio wasn't that bad. We had a bunch of Knicks fans like it, but it was like all comments from the Nets fans and all likes from the Knicks fans. But the ratio was a little off. So I had a restless night's sleep last night. Did some meditation in the morning. I think I'm going to be okay.
That's important.
Yeah.
Just like the Beatles.
Mm-hmm. Hard days.
You guys want to hear about someone recently got laid off from maybe the funniest job in America. Not America, in the world.
Okay.
What would that be?
See if you can guess what would be the most ridiculous job you can have. I'll give you a very, very short guess. The guy did this for 23 years, and he was
still say with pimp.
He was paid $16,000 a year by a town council in a city to do this for 23 years.
Oh, town council. At first I was going to say the guy who tests to see if deodorant works. He just has to smell armpits all day.
It's city council, not town. But yes. So there in Christchurch in New Zealand, there was a man who was paid to be the wizard of the town. The last 23 years, they were paying him $16,000 a year for a grand total of $368,000 to be the town wizard, where his job description was to provide acts of wizardry.
Seems kind of hard.
Do they have examples?
He just basically wears the costume, a Halloween costume, basically, and just shows up the stuff.
Does he walk up to the automatic doors at supermarkets and make the open motion?
He was actually the first guy to ever do that.
I'm actually gonna date myself. He pounces on a jukebox and the music starts playing. Oh no, that was the Fonz. I'm sorry, not the wizard.
And then he jumps
he said
a
he
shark.
he was disappointed. He was disappointed by the fact that they got rid of him. He said, "I don't like being canceled." So that's this week's edition in Someone Was Canceled.
That's interesting.
I think
How do you interview for that job?
Seriously, I would love to be the town wizard.
He basically
city wizard, sir, not town city. That's more responsibility.
That is.
He basically just started showing up stuff as the wizard, and somehow got the town to pay him to continue to be the wizard.
How long did he have this job?
23 years.
He shouldn't complain then, because that's amazing.
No.
That's 23 years of hiding behind the curtain.
Yeah, he got $250,000 to walk around as a wizard.
Yes.
That's stealing money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
But
it's messed up though that he can't be the wizard anymore.
Yeah.
So if you're a citizen in that town, right? Your taxpayer dollars are going to pay a dude that thinks he's a wizard.
Right. When you're like, hey, my taxes are too high. Well, we got to pay the wizard. Sorry, your taxes have to go up. We need to pay the wizard.
Was he not on the first to cut list? Is there something else that we could have gotten rid of? And sanitation. No, we're good with sanitation. How about the wizard?
They cut services for veterans and for the homeless, and then the veteran. Then the wizard. Yeah.
Well, now the wizard's homeless. Although $16,000 a year, I don't know. Must have had some kind of side hustle.
Do you think you one day you're looking at a neighboring town, you're like, you're the wizard here too? Sorry, I've been cheating on
Ooh.
you.
That's not right. You can't do double duty wizardry.
It'd be fucking messed up.
That's right. Well, maybe he'll get a role in Oz or whatever the hell the Wicked.
Hocus Pocus too.
So
I think there was a 2. Was there a 2?
Hocus
Probably.
Pocus? I think so.
Probably. It's a sequel to everything.
So they are holding at the local arts center. They are holding an exhibition of his life works.
So it's an empty building?
Guess so. Jay, both of you, Jay and Martin, I know you both have worked for a long time. You've done at this point in your life.
Yeah, too long.
Is anyone honoring you with an exhibition about your life work?
No, and if anybody should do it, it'd be my last job. I earned that.
No one would know how to.
Yeah.
So far, I guess the wizard has achieved more than the 3 of us in life.
Yeah.
Well, he stole $16,000 a year. Have you done that?
That's pretty good.
What town was this again? City? Whatever?
Christchurch in New Zealand. I've actually been there.
Really?
Yeah. I studied abroad in Australia, and I went to New Zealand, and I was in Christchurch.
And you never saw this guy?
I never saw the wizard, but I would have loved to say we're off to see the wizard.
I would be right.
Every single day until he kills you or
What's
kills himself.
A female wizard? Is that a witch? No, that's witches and warlocks. What's a female wizard? Is there a female wizard?
Sorceress.
I think a male wizard's a rooster.
I think it's a sorceress.
I think sorceress might be right.
I thought a witch. Wait, witch and warlock? So
it's witch and warlock. Yeah, maybe sorceress. You might be right.
The amount of stupid things I know. This is why it took so long to pass the CPA. My head's filled with all this stupid shit.
By the way, sorceress is a thing on Twitter. Mark, what is it?
Jay's like, I don't think I did that well on that CPA exam. I put ratio down as one of the answers.
So
that could have been an accounting answer when you think about it.
Actually, there was a ratio section.
See?
What is the cutoff for ratio? Like if I get 50 likes and 12 comments, is that ratio? Like
No.
Where do you have to? The comments have to exceed the rate.
I think the comments have to exceed the likes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, can you write rent free or free rent? What is it? Rent free?
Rent free.
Could you write that to anyone? And they'd be like, well, why do you think I'm obsessed with this? Well, you're telling strangers about it, so you must be obsessed.
Well, I mean, you had out of your 10,000 tweets, you have 3 about this one thing. So clearly you're obsessed with it.
Yes.
I mean, all social media is your motivation to tell people random stuff that to tell strangers stuff that you're obviously thinking about.
Also, it was clearly a joke. I don't think the 300th best player is better than the 5th best player in the NBA. Like, come on.
Hey, you're just busting balls. That's all.
Yeah. I don't understand why people have been like, all people should say is ha ha ha, Harden step up or whatever, or and Kyrie back,
or come back with a Knicks joke.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if you said it to an actual Nets fan who you were friends with, they'd be like, "Yeah, Harden's not looking good lately." Like, it would just be like no one would take that any other way.
The Nets guy we had on our podcast, he just wrote, "You're better than this," and that was funny.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
There should be a term for when someone has a viral-esque tweet that's funny, like sarcastic, where only half the people in the tweet thread actually get it. Someone makes a joke.
That's social media.
Yeah, someone makes a joke and someone's like, "How dare you say that? He's not."
Yeah. I'm surprised people don't write RF because they're so lazy they can't type 8 letters. They have to write 2. Like it's not like I can't. My tweet needs to be shorter. RF.
I can't stand acronyms also. Where it's becoming I know every generation says that the younger generation's just moronic, but this is really getting there.
No, they're moronic. It's okay. I can stand behind that.
I don't know if you know the full extent of moronic. Have you heard about the newest religion?
The newest religion?
Yeah.
Is it like Pastafarian?
Well, I thought the newest religion was the Church of Latter-day. No, the Scientology. Isn't that the newest religion?
No, there's a
most recent one that's recognized.
There's a newer one.
All right.
Okay, what's the new one?
It's the Rod of Iron Ministries. They've actually been buying up massive plots of land to expand their empire. And it's
I assume this is the religion that gets you out of taking the COVID vaccine.
Yeah, they worship AR-15s, and so the priest does the entire sermon with an AR-15.
Jay, You know what's funny? I like for the show, I'll just, if I see some articles, I'll make a note of them on my email, and I'll bring up a bunch of articles ahead of time, and I'll mention them on the show, just whatever. I'm staring at that article.
No.
Yeah. The title, it's a Vice article, a MAGA gun church that worships AR-15s.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes, I know it's the same article. A rod of iron ministry. I can't believe you brought something I'm staring at right now.
That's funny. We brought the same
really
material.
fun.
It's going to be a short show, folks.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Fun fact, Rod of Iron, big porn star. Did not know that.
Yes.
Iron Rod.
Right. I mean, calling their religion the Rod of Iron makes it sound less gay than them holding a dick in their hands during the sermon.
Well, they don't have much of a dick if they have to hold a gun all over the place.
Exactly. They're holding a giant gun, which is clearly a phallic symbol, like during... that said, scared as fuck of these people.
Yeah.
Yeah, how many of them are there?
Hundreds.
That's more. That's hundreds more than I would hope for.
Yeah.
Isn't this kind of thing like? So my understanding is we invaded Afghanistan because they were harboring the Taliban.
Mm-hmm.
We're harboring the rods of iron. Can we at least invade the state
amongst many others?
This is going on in Tennessee. Let's invade Tennessee.
I think we should just invite other countries to drone bomb them.
Sounds fine.
It's fair. We drone bomb their radicals. Go.
Well, then we stopped.
If we drop bombs on Tennessee, would anyone notice? Outside of the dead people, I mean, just like the destruction there, would people really notice?
The Elvis fans.
InfoWars people.
Dolly Parton.
It would be the first time something actually happened that InfoWars would not say it was a hoax.
So on a different note, I've noticed you guys watch Netflix, I assume, as everyone in the world is now required to do. I've noticed a feature I did not notice before on Netflix, and it's the same feature I've noticed on podcasts. So I've noticed on podcasts, people sometimes will listen to a podcast to like 1.5 or 2x. Have you guys noticed this?
Yeah, I do it sometimes.
Here's a question: why do you do it?
A podcast?
Yeah.
Well, maybe not a podcast so much, but like say I had to watch. Here's a perfect example: a training video at work that I might have to watch or listen to.
Oh, okay, yeah,
right.
Makes sense.
Or if I really want to get through a podcast really fast because I only have a half hour and I don't want to pick it up later, I'll listen to it double speed. You don't really lose anything. I'm not trying to downplay what you're saying, but I actually do it.
Yeah, so I'm actually not even ripping the podcast thing. I do find it. I've tried that, and I understand the idea. Sometimes you have less time, but I find also the
audiobook, another one.
Yeah, I find generally sometimes it's like less relaxing to listen to it because it's going a little faster. So it's like takes a little bit of enjoyment out of it. You could also listen to the podcast also at 0.5 speed, so extra slow.
No,
who's doing that? Who's like these people speak? I need
that. I don't understand.
But so anyway, what I was gonna say is I've seen the same feature on Netflix where you could watch the Netflix at either 0.5, 0.75, 1.2, 1.5. Is there any shows you're like I watch extra fast?
You could do that for Walking Dead and not miss a thing.
That's true. You could watch Walking Dead at 100 times speed, get through the whole season, and not have missed anything.
Yeah.
I can't say I watch it. No, I don't understand watching something fast unless if you're. I'm trying to think if there's maybe a sporting event. I can see a sporting event, right? Say like you're behind and you want to catch up, and like football. I'll fast if I'm like DVRing a football game. There's a lot of downtime where nothing happens.
I mean, that's like most of the football. There was something. Someone told me there was some video on YouTube. I never actually watched it, but they took every moment of stoppage out of a football game, and the actual game was like
a half hour.
Yeah. Like there's just so much that time in the game.
It's
but
not
like a TV show, but like a comedy special. No, it would be weird and annoying.
It's way worse than that. Somebody actually analyzed all the sports, and timed how much action. Football has something like 7 minutes of action a game, and I think baseball had about 6. And
no, they said baseball they have about 22 minutes of action all season.
yeah.
It's got
but like, what do you like? You're like, shit. It's Sunday night. Everyone else at work is gonna watch the entire Squid Game. Got to get through it. fuck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put on 1.5 season. I'm gonna see what happens on Squid Game. God damn it! It just seems to.
Talk about something you can't watch fast. It's hard enough to understand the fucking words and all that shit in that.
Could you imagine watching Squid Game slow? You slow it down to 0.5 speed. You're like, I want to see every death extra slowly.
Yeah, all the blood splattering all over the place.
Can we talk? Martin,
I'm done.
Can we talk about it without it being like a spoiler?
Is it too soon to spoil, Jay? What do you tell me?
I mean, I don't know if we should just talk about. We have a lot of things to cover.
Fine. I thought Squid Game was awesome.
So did I.
It did not end so well, but otherwise it was fantastic.
Well, they had to set up. Well, this isn't a spoil. They're setting up another season, which everyone probably knows by now.
Netflix said they
money.
Netflix said they made $900 million for the show. So
$900 million.
Yeah.
They said. And I guess they must gauge it by basically increased subscriptions. And they said it was the top show in 90 countries.
You think people subscribe to Netflix just for that show?
Yeah. I think basically people are like, this show is amazing. I mean, people could always subscribe and cancel a month later, but True. They probably, I think people do that all the time. Like, I think if someone's like, this is a really great, you got to watch the Tiger King. Oh, I don't have Netflix. I'll get Netflix again to watch Tiger King, something like that.
See, I watched that. I didn't think it was all that a bag of chips, but I will say this: Ted Lasso. I might buy Apple TV to finish that off for one more month. I had it for free for a year. I never watched Apple TV once, and then Ted Lasso came out, and I love it. And my wife and I really like it, so we might buy it for a month. And plus, the Jon Stewart show I'd like to check out and all that. But there has to be more than one show for me to subscribe to something.
So if anyone from Apple is listening, I will go in for a 5-year membership for Apple TV. 5 years, I'll pay it all up front. If you'll just get everyone to admit that Ted Lasso is just a bland, not so good show that everyone's pretending is really good.
No, it's really good. I like it. Have you watched it?
Yes.
You don't like it?
It's fine. I've never watched. I've only watched the first season. I've not watched the second season yet, but I've never seen a show that's more like, it's fine. It's the equivalent of us like being this age in the 1980s, being like, guys, you catch Growing Pains? It was incredible.
How dare you?
You didn't do that?
Just the 10 of Us, the sequel.
I love Just the 10 of Us.
Yeah, we know why you love Just the 10 of Us.
It is today's Growing Pains. Today's
Watch it on mute.
It is just bland TV that everyone is just being like, this is amazing. It's so fun.
It's not amazing. It's good.
People are acting like it's the best thing they've ever seen on TV. And instead of best thing on TV, it might be the 3,427th best thing I've seen on TV.
You know what happened? Bri isn't on the show, and Mark had to take over as the guy who's too cool to like the popular shows.
Like the popular thing?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the State Farm commercials have more comedy in them than the entire existence of Ted Lasso.
I do like the Aaron Rodgers one.
It's funny. It's much funnier than Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso. The entire show of Ted Lasso is kind of like, it's warm, it's nice. The guy's positive. You keep like they have even the premise was like he coaches American football here. Then he's gonna coach soccer or
I'm not saying it's the funniest show. I just think it's good. But it's not Breaking Bad's number one. Good luck trying to trump Breaking Bad on my list. It's very hard to beat.
I love Breaking Bad, but I just feel like this show, it's like there's, you know how sometimes they take out you watch a show on TNT and they took out all the curse words, the nudity. It's like it's like Apple TV was like, oh, we had to take out all the comedy, so just like get everything without the jokes.
So we got an email.
All right,
we got an email.
Like a live email or an old email?
An old email.
Oh, okay.
Lorenzo writes, would you rather have one new Brink listener join every 6 months, which would be an improvement, or have or have hundreds of new listeners each month, all anti-vaxxers, and all the email questions are related to this topic? Within a few years, Brink becomes the preeminent anti-vax podcast on Earth.
I think I know your answer.
We had a short time on the Knicks podcast where every question was about black dildos.
Yeah, we did. It was like 3 months.
Did you answer them?
We read them.
Yeah.
Did you guys buy a couple just to try them out and see what happened?
We got official Knicks podcast black dildos in the store.
We sat in them during the show just for kicks.
Ooh.
I am going to say I will take the. So if we get all the listeners, we have to become like the anti-vax show.
He said it becomes the anti-vax the biggest one on earth.
So we steal Joe Rogan's audience.
Mm-hmm.
You're basically switching places with him.
Martin, what do you think we should do? Because Lorenzo will make this happen. What do you think?
Depends on how much money you make.
No, I'm assuming like we have to figure out how to turn it into money.
So here's the problem. We would be making a lot of money, but we would probably be getting a lot of death threats.
Well, Jay, how do we make money like doing that? In the sense of like, let's just say we really become this happens basically, and we're getting 1 million downloads an episode. Everyone, all the anti-vaxxers are like, you're number one. How does that equate to how do you monetize that? Because I feel like
we would definitely get an ad deal.
Hey, every product would be like, well, we can't advertise because you're like a piece of shit.
No, we would get like a Chick-fil-A, Tucker Carlson, InfoWars, Smith and Wesson.
Hey, if we get some free Chick-fil-A, I'm all about it.
Yeah, so there you go.
Brought to you by
every week.
Brought to you by the Iron Rod Church in Tennessee. Great.
Maybe you guys could be one of the priests.
Andrew said Kyrie could become a permanent co-host.
Nice.
Kyrie. There's got to be a "Where's Kyrie Irving" chant, by the way, at some point.
Anthony said for a few
episodes. The "Where's Ben Simmons" chant last night was funny. Go ahead.
Anthony said for a few episodes he had to stop listening in front of his wife because there was dildos in every episode.
Wait, so when the 76ers play the Nets, do the audience like they go back and forth? Where's Kyrie? Where's Ben Simmons?
You should.
Like less filling, tastes great.
You're making the assumption that Nets fans actually have creative chants.
Yeah,
I've
not ever heard one.
They're too busy like, pumping in Jay-Z music, so you can't hear the silence.
Oh, I was watching a game the other night. Not that this is a basketball. I don't know who was the home team. It was just loud ass music, and I just had to turn it off. I couldn't take it. I sound like an old man, but I'd like to watch the game. If I wanted to hear a music concert, I would change the channel.
Every time I've been to a Nets game, that's the way it's been.
Well,
horrible.
If I'm in person, like, and they play loud music, whatever, it's all like, that's fine.
I'm all right with it.
I hate when you watch a sporting event on TV and the crowd and the noise is louder than the commentator.
Yeah, like they messed the mix up. Yeah.
Right. And they're trying to make it feel like, oh, you're there. You're like, it's more exciting because you hear it's not more fun. You have commentators because it fucking sucks to listen to the crowd noise when you're watching a game. You want to just hear the commentators.
Well, the worst is when they were pumping it in during this COVID period where they were pumping in the fake noise.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I understood.
I knew why they did it. It was just some did it really bad. It was like, come on.
The Nets are like, we're supposed to stop that. I don't think so. We're not stopping that.
Well, the worst was back in the 90s when the Pacers would just play IndyCar sounds every time. Oh my God. It was like, the worst. Like, well, you just rip my ears off. Thanks.
Andrew said he doesn't dare listen to Brink in front of any other people. It's not safe.
Okay, I'm going to
blame you, Mark, because you mention pedophiles every episode. You can't be listening to Brink.
So we've talked about pedophiles and black dildos. All right, that's 2 points.
Our show is safe for kids if your kids want to have therapy later in life.
You can't be like, hey, buddy, you got to listen to this podcast, and within 2 minutes you're talking about pedophiles. Like, it's not a good intro to the podcast.
Jay, no one says, hey, buddy, you should listen to this podcast.
Not our podcast.
Yeah, our podcast. So I'm going to take. So we're going to get basically sponsorship from pieces of shit or like things that we hate. By the other hand, you'll become a multimillionaire. Yeah. Is it worth it, Jay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's for an hour a week.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Well, I think we have to go more often. It'd be like 4 or 5 days a week.
Yeah, but it's still like 1 to 2 hour shows. Like even if we do it every day.
So basically, you're willing to sell out, is what you're saying.
Oh, I'm totally willing to sell out. Yeah.
There you go.
Even if you had to work 8 hours a day in making the show, from like the preparation to the show, it would still be better than any of our real jobs.
And if it was paying that much, like, hey, would you like to make like 10 times your salary for like?
I mean, Joe Rogan makes millions of dollars off his podcast, right?
He makes crazy money. Well, they bought his.
He's part of a network or something, right?
Spotify bought his podcast for hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so
What do you have to be in the top to make decent coin? 200?
The top 1% of the world.
No, I think you can make a lot of money.
I mean, well, yes, that, but I meant in podcast land. Maybe top 1%, maybe.
Yeah, you have to be really, really high.
I'd say 200.
Yeah, probably even top 200. I mean, like, I feel like if you have if you're getting, I don't know how to translate, but if you're getting if you're getting a couple hundred thousand downloads per episode, you're probably making a decent change.
Because you can have sponsors and whatnot.
Yeah, I feel like you could probably still do pretty well.
What if you?
Why didn't the Black Dildo Company offer up a sponsorship? That's what I want to know. Whatever that company is, I wouldn't know.
What if you get 110 downloads? Asking for a friend.
Lifetime or just someone else?
No, per episode.
So I guess we go all in for the anti-vax. Because the thing is, not every episode has to be about anti-vax. We could also talk about fun stuff with the anti-vax people. Like why are you so fucking scared of a needle, you fucking moron?
You know they have a shingles vaccine? I found that out today.
Yeah. I knew that. Just happened to know that. But
I did not know this.
Oh.
I just thought it was random. Someone told me they got it.
So can we, to be fair, can we be so Lorenzo didn't say the anti-vax movement for the COVID vaccine. Can we be the anti-vax movement for the shingles vaccine?
Sure.
I think
that will be our thing.
I'm only for tin roofs, not shingles.
I mean, if you're anti-vax,
the horrible joke.
Probably everything.
I got it at least. Do you think it would be we're the number one anti-shingles podcast, and our downloads would actually increase?
Yeah, so you would lose the over 70 crowd. Just literally probably none of our listeners here.
Literally lose them.
Yeah, do we know the demographics of your 110 a week? Do we have does it give you that? Is it the key demo?
I think it's 109 people from Australia and one other person.
So we switched.
Big in Australia.
We switched hosts a month or two ago, so I think I need to wait a little bit for the data to come in.
Okay.
I have. You got some?
Oh, I was gonna say. So I have a question. So I have an issue, and I was wondering if you guys can help me with this issue.
Okay.
So, how do you my housekeeper, every time she vacuums upstairs now during the week, she somehow trips our internet.
And yanks a cord out?
No, it's weird because it's not even that when she plugs somehow the outlet outside of our fourth bedroom / office where I work out of, the outlet somehow you plug it in there, start vacuuming. Every week now, the internet just goes out while she's vacuuming. And so I wanted to ask the question of how to explain to and she doesn't really speak very much English. So I just felt like people on our show like to hear about me having servant issues.
So yes, rich people problems. So what we need to do is we take our phone and we go, stop fucking up my internet. And then it'll translate and say, El Stapo, El Interneto, whatever it'll say. No? I don't even got canceled by the Latino community.
I have no idea what the fuck's wrong with the wiring in my house. That one outlet would knock out the other outlet, but it's new problem.
I wouldn't be plugging anything else in there.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't normally. Just she plugs it into to vacuum, and when she vacuums, anyway, that's Mark's servant issue of the week.
Just
I didn't
tell
really
her
expect an answer.
Wire pulley, chokey stabby.
I have a servant problem too.
Okay, cool.
I don't have one.
Yeah,
there's my problem.
I have the same problem.
It's become a running joke on the show that I have servants in my mansion.
Servants.
I mean, in fairness, though, I guess when he put it that, I'm like, oh, I don't have servants, but we have a housekeeper. We have yard people who come to the yard.
To be fair, I have two children who should be my servants, but they're not.
My children have two servants that are much taller than them.
Yeah, you.
So we were joking about all our listeners being from Australia, but our one listener I thought was from America is from Puerto Rico, so we have no American listeners.
Puerto Rico doesn't count?
It's not official.
Puerto Rico's
a territory.
It's a territory.
Right. You know, Puerto Rico for a little while was number one in COVID vaccine.
Good for
they
them.
were the most max. They were the most
percentage-wise?
Yeah, they're percentage-wise the most vaccinated. I think maybe they're not number one now, but like a week or two ago, there was an article in the Times about how that Puerto Rico was the number one percentage-wise for total population or percentage of population that's fully vaccinated.
So when you think about it, your listeners are pretty pro-vaccination because Australia is pretty high, right?
I think Australia's actually low. I think they screwed up the vaccine.
Yeah. Well, or are they low, but they won't let people in to get into the country?
Yeah, like they have a low number of cases, but they haven't. I think the actual vaccine numbers aren't that high because they're just not resistance, just distribution.
Yeah, don't get you news from me. I'm not.
Yeah. I don't. Whatever. Jay, what's going on?
I don't have actively leaking gas in my apartment.
What about out of your ass?
Well, sometimes.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
That goes without saying. You had a gas leak in your apartment?
Yes, I had a gas leak in my apartment, and the co-op wouldn't let me get it fixed. And so...
So light a match and see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, so I got... it's a new stove, so I got GE to come over to fix it because it was still under warranty. And before that, I had Con Ed turn off the gas. So then GE comes to fix the stove, and they're like, well, we don't know where the leak is because the gas is off, and we can't turn it back on. So they guessed where the leak was, and they replaced 2 valves. Okay. And then I had Con Ed turn back on the gas, and I guess he guessed correctly because there's no gas leak. But the funny thing is...
Wait, this was after... because I thought you got your stove replaced because of the gas leak.
No, I was going to, but...
Wait, you didn't get your stove replaced?
I did not. No.
Oh, so wait, what? I'm not following because you had a whole thing about how they thought it was coming out of the stove.
Yeah, so we had the gas turned off, and then they replaced 2 valves in the stove.
Oh, okay. So they figured out it wasn't. So it was. They figured out it wasn't the stove.
It was. I guess it was wherever that valve was that they replaced was in the stove.
Oh, okay. So it was it still was a problem with the stove.
It was a problem with the stove, yeah, and they guessed right.
Got it.
So, yeah, so they did that, but then GE's system is messed up, and so after they fixed it, 2 days later, well, first of all, they were supposed to come fix it on a Friday. They showed up on a Thursday unannounced, and they fixed it, but then I guess the Friday guy still showed up, and we're like, no, it's fixed, and then like Tuesday a guy showed up. And then Thursday, I got a call saying that they were on their way. And I'm like, this has been fixed, and you've come like 4 times already. Like, stop coming. And then I got a call today. A guy was like around the corner. He's like, yeah, I'm about to show up to fix your stuff. I'm like, stop coming to my apartment. Like, this was fixed a week and a half ago. So they've come about 6 times since.
Ring.
Hello.
Ring.
Yep.
Hi. I'm from GE. I'm here. I'm coming up to fix your stove.
Yeah, you're the 7th person that's come to fix the stove. It's fixed.
I brought a 6-pack. Do you want to just hang out?
Yes.
Okay, cool. You got cards?
I do have cards. Yeah. Let's do it.
Awesome. Let's do this.
So, we got another email.
Okay.
You're never gonna get.
That's the extent. I thought you had more G. So that's the extent of your G story.
It was a happy ending.
Oh, okay.
It was just.
You told me you had a whole.
Now I know why the stock has gone down as much as it has. Ugh.
Well, I mean, we did an entire 40-minute episode on the whole stove thing last.
I thought you had like another whole story about GE. Your whole story was they keep trying to show up to fix stuff.
I mean, it is kind of funny. Like every 3 days, like somebody's at my door, like I'm here to fix the stove. Like
maybe they're trying to sell you to buy the extended warranty. Like, wow, they're really thorough.
Yeah. After the microwave, stove, and fridge simultaneously broke, I'm gonna give them more money.
Yeah.
Every time you let them try to fix it, you're like, I don't know. It's something's wrong here. Keep trying to fix it.
Ridiculous. So you'll never guess who this email's from.
Lorenzo?
Correct. You guessed it.
Okay.
thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com is our email. So this is another great moment in Brink history.
Yes.
So
you want to explain to Martin how this works?
So Martin, he's going to slowly reveal a great thing that happened on the podcast, and we have to guess what that event was.
Out of all 370 whatever podcasts.
Yes, but he'll give clues and narrow it down.
If Martin, if you happen to know this, it would be unfreaking believable.
Yeah.
But
all right.
Also, if I happen to notice,
I'm not Australian.
Amazing. We haven't gotten one right yet, so.
Oh, you guys don't even know.
No, we don't.
We have no idea.
I think
we
I think I got one on like the 5th.
Have you ever kicked yourself after the answer is revealed? Like, oh, I should have got that.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, actually, on some of them, I'm like, that really happened? Like I question their version of history.
You said that? All right, here we go.
Okay.
What rare event happened in July 2015 had all the listeners salivating?
It's near your birthday. It's near your birthday. I will say it has something to do with your birthday.
I moved to the suburbs. I moved to a new house.
Would that make the listeners salivate, though?
I don't know what else. I mean, like I didn't actually get a mansion, but the joke became that I got a mansion. So that happened then. That's when actually I moved beginning of August, but like that was when I was moving.
Does it have something to do with your birthday?
Oh, is this when Jay had his birthday at a gay bar?
Oh, it could be. That's a good guess.
You had your birthday at a gay bar?
But not on purpose.
Yeah. He asked everyone to come in there to convert.
I was looking up I
don't remember that.
Like lounges in Astoria with like good drinks, and this place had like 4.8 out of 5 stars, and so I invited people there, and I was wondering. I got there first, and I was wondering why I got hit on like twice while I was waiting, and then I realized.
What was the drink of choice? A cup of semen?
I had no idea the fireman's pole would be a gay bar. It was just a shock to me.
Or the iron rod.
Yeah, the iron rod, sure.
It was just called cock.
It's about roosters.
So Martin, that was the like I saw you at Jay's last birthday. This birthday, that
was at a beer garden, right?
Where did we do that?
Yeah.
That's starting in 2016. I started having them at the beer garden.
Wouldn't it be great if every time?
Shame I missed the gay one.
I was gonna say every time Jay has a birthday somewhere, they're like, "Great, we've got to be a gay place now." They're like, nothing against it, but now we're a gay beer garden.
To each their own. It just doesn't fit the mold. I don't think here. Is that it? Did we win?
I don't know.
Okay, give the next.
When do we get the answer?
At the end. So read the next clue. Joe.
Clue number 1. It only happened 2 or 3 times in Brink history. Okay, so I only had one gay birthday party, so that's not it. Mark only bought a house once, so that's not it.
2 or 3 times in Brink history.
And it had listeners salivating.
Was someone eating cat's food?
I do like cat's food when I've been there.
There was a compliment.
Yeah, no, it's very good.
That would make me salivate.
Was it we had Steven on? Well, that was only one time, right?
Yeah, that wouldn't make people salivate. That made people literally stop listening.
People hated Steven.
We literally lost half our listeners when we had Steven on. And I don't think we ever recovered from that.
How about you flashed a juicy steak on the screen a couple of times.
But we weren't on a screen then, I don't think.
Oh, you weren't video casting at that time?
I don't know. We were video casting for a little while that I don't remember how Jay was doing it. And then Jay suddenly couldn't do it anymore.
We did Ustream for a while.
Jay said like we could do this Ustream thing if the listeners will give us like $200. And they did. And so we got it. And then it went away at some point. I don't know what happened.
Ustream like stopped pretty much.
Oh.
Did like Zoom kill it?
I think so.
Maybe YouTube killed it.
2 or 3 times in Brink history.
Give us another clue. Another clue, Jay.
Could we have been eating on the show?
No.
Well, you ate on the show.
It's not eating, and I don't think it was even a drinking because I know that July would have been right before I moved, and I would not have gotten trashed on.
What other things make you salivate?
We had a female guest host.
But who was the last? Here's a question.
So, all right, now it's getting creepy.
Who was the last female on the show? I know the answer.
You know the anscer?
Is your cat a female? Because your cat was
Lauren.
No, I'm not even making a joke. I know the answer.
Lauren.
Who was the last female?
Had to have been
Lauren.
Lauren.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
She was on. I believe she was on during the early days of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Has she been on 2 or 3 times?
She's been on like a dozen times.
Yeah, then it can't be that particular person.
Okay.
Give another clue. Give the next clue.
Clue number 2. It's just the word Mark.
I ran out of things to say.
Would that make?
That would make people salivate.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't. I'm just trying to think of something that would happen. Go to the next clue. Then that clue was not very helpful.
Andrew's thinking black beans. Is it the time you bought 65 cans of black beans?
Could be, or maybe I revealed my love of Italian ice.
Okay. How about Taco Bell? Any Taco Bell references? Because I know Jay can be a Taco Bell aficionado.
But he said Marc, so it would probably black beans and Italian ices have things I've revealed my love for.
Clue number 3. I think this is the last clue. Special guest.
Okay.
Oh.
Special guest.
Did you have your cousin came on? Not it was the Nick show. Your cousin came on, right?
Yeah, but that was recent. That was not 2015.
I'm just trying to link you with special guests because I usually.
What about your you know who was coming on around then? Your old co-host for the TV show.
Will?
Your public, Will was coming on for a couple episodes.
But why would the clue number 2 be Marc?
I don't know. But
Like,
Will was coming on the show.
What guests have you brought on? You brought on Jeff Ting, the musician.
Yeah, Will was really hard to talk to. Also, I remember the show.
Yeah.
I haven't brought too many guests on.
You brought Jeff, Jason,
Stowe.
See, I don't know Marc well enough, so I'm almost out of this.
Okay.
Okay. What's the answer, Jeff?
Okay. While Jay was reading a listener question, why does Marc have so much white guilt? Marc's wife walked into the room and said a few words. Very rare.
Oh, someone's creeping on your wife.
We had a Marc wife sighting.
Are you all right with that though? Creeping on your wife? Is that all right?
It's cool. It's cool.
All right.
Bonus round. Bonus round.
Bonus round. It sounds like if someone's salivating over Marc's wife.
What else happened next that was pretty amazing?
What'd your wife do?
I didn't know what she was doing behind me. Apparently, what did I don't know. What did she do, Jay?
I think somebody must have been in the chat room and oh yeah, isn't that when Steven went like bonkers?
I don't even know what's the rest of the email? Just read it.
As she exited the room, Jay moved on to the next unplanned question from Rosero. Has Marc ever been tempted to cheat on his wife?
I knew it. I knew it had something to do with her.
And they were both great moments in Brink history.
That's really funny.
I forgot about that one.
We need some theme music for that segment.
Man, that's like an amazing segment.
Yeah.
It's almost like The More You Know.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable how much we've done to this show and that we don't even remember this stuff.
That was 6 years ago, and that was 7 years into the show.
Holy shit, that's embarrassing.
You guys have only been doing this, I feel like it's been longer than 13. I'm not kidding.
I feel like it's been a lifetime.
We started February of 2008.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Or maybe January.
Early adopters.
Yeah. So I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
Moving on. Would you stare into an orb and let it scan your eye for free crypto?
Sure.
Stare into what?
Martin, an orb.
Like a magical orb?
No, just an orb that scans your eye.
Like a wizard's orb?
No, it's a totally legit real thing. It's an orb that scans your retinas to know it's you, and then it give you free crypto.
Well, I mean, am I getting 3 Shiba that are worth like a thousandth of a penny, or am I getting like 3 Bitcoin?
You're getting. So this is a real company that does this.
Mm-hmm.
The goal of this company is to scan the retinas of every human being on Earth. So far, they scanned 130,000 people. The company apparently is worth billions of dollars already because they got based on the valuations of people investing in the company, and essentially they have made up a crypto. They people come up with cryptos, and this crypto is it's their crypto you get.
Oh,
you don't
their
get
crypto.
Yeah. So I mean, there's thousands of cryptos out there, and these people that the orb this company basically will give you their crypto.
So people
what's it valued at?
It's
I'm not clear from the article what it's valued at, but basically everyone gets it, And that way everyone on Earth will have an account with them to have like they said basically it's value. They said basically as it rolls out and people get involved with the amount people get will diminish over time, but it'll end up being somewhere between $10 to $200.
That's not
with
very
10%
enticing.
with 10% of it being immediately available in the wallet app. They promise also
So
they will
$1 you can get up to $1 immediately.
They promise they will not do anything with what they're scanning your eyes for.
How about a lifetime OnlyFans account? I'll take that.
That'd be pretty good too.
That'd actually be worth something.
It's kind of weird though. They're going to try to scan every human being's eyes on Earth.
I'm going to go with no.
Yeah, I take it back.
They are producing these orbs and they're setting into people, and people will be in charge of trying to get everyone else to get scanned.
They're
It's
gonna
like
have
a
to
pyramid scheme.
Yeah, they're gonna have to make the prize a little bit better.
Like the founder of LinkedIn has invested in this. Some other giant, like there's another guy Horowitz who like has invested in like some of the biggest companies in the world.
Jewish
They're
guy
also
again.
Yeah, the Jewish guy wants to scan your eyeballs.
Imagine being so rich you could be like, yeah, I'm just gonna throw a couple million into Orb Eye Scan Co.
The guy that invented LinkedIn, he got Microsoft money big time, no doubt, right?
Yeah, no, he made like a killing from that.
Yeah, not for $10 or $200. I was thinking like you're speculating and you're going to get some, variety of crypto. It might be worth more, but if it's their crypto,
You know how like
the more people do it, the more it diminishes, right? Per person.
Know how sometimes you hear ideas and you're like, if only I came up with Facebook first or something like that. If like,
right,
you'd be like, wow. You would never say, if only I came up with the orb first.
Well,
I always talk about the fact that I want to scan every retina on Earth. I can't believe somebody did it before me.
It would bother me because I would think it's almost like collecting something and you forgot. Oh, yeah, I need that one last retina.
Technically, Tom from MySpace created Facebook first because it's the same site.
It's just it's a variation of a theme, right?
Yeah.
Well, in fairness, the dude from Friendster created MySpace, which created Facebook. So
that is true.
Friendster, yeah.
Friendster.
Do we want to go back to the white pages? I mean, we want to go that far back.
My other weird stories of the week. I will tell you that you mentioned OnlyFans and what was the article? I guess I lost the article. But basically, there was a country that's created an OnlyFans site to show naked artwork. But I lost that article. Sorry.
Why would you look at naked artwork?
Well,
why would you pay for it?
Right.
Dude, you pay for naked artwork? That's fucked up, man. I get it for free.
You know how
that's like paying for porn. Why would you pay for?
It's like, you know how you can get like naked porn for free? Why don't you pay for naked fake painted?
Austria. I found the article in Vienna.
Schwarzenegger.
In Vienna, museums have opened adult only OnlyFans accounts to display nude artwork.
Pass.
Yeah.
Hard pass.
Absolutely.
Actually, flaccid pass.
Oh.
Ooh. The other articles.
Do like people like get off on that? Like, is that something that people do?
I think basically they think it's artistic, and I maybe it gets
autistic.
Yeah, maybe it gets flagged on like Facebook and other social media, so they want to have a place for people to look at
like
it.
if you put that up on your Facebook page, you get
maybe,
whatever.
but then again,
Suspended.
why do you need an OnlyFans? Can't like why are you charging? Oh, I don't fucking know. Yeah,
I think there's a sucker born every minute, right? Someone will pay for something, I guess.
I bet people get off to it. I mean, there's people who like who is like Family Guy porn for? Like, you ever go to a porn site and have like cartoons?
Yes, I've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the advertisements, you see it.
Yeah, it's like, who's that for?
You're like, who is jonesing for that?
Right.
Or even like you'll see like video. It looks like video game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'll want to play this game. Like, why?
Yeah. No,
well, Jay, hang on, Jay. Didn't we have an episode a couple of years back where you explained to me tentacle porn? And tentacle porn is an actual thing where there's apparently a big audience for people that like tentacle porn. So everything you're asking, there's probably gigantic audience. Probably like that video of Family Guy porn has more. It's the most viral thing on the internet. We just don't realize. We don't like look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we got to go to Reddit to see if it's worth anything.
I mean, I always wondered like why people want used panties, and they actually
People
in
are fucked
Japan,
up.
They all sell them.
in Japan, they had a vending machine for used panties.
No,
Yeah.
like
Yes,
a
I've
soda
heard this.
machine.
Yeah.
Yes,
You go like
use-
3, 4, 5, and
Yeah.
down a. Does it get stuck too?
Did you hang on?
I don't know. I did not purchase one.
Did you like? Hey,
That's
Kat,
that was how I was trying to trap you to see if you bought it. No, I'm kidding.
Kat, do you have a quarter for the vending machine?
You could just have mine, Jay. That's what he. That's
Okay,
what
so
you should say.
my other few stories of the week.
Where
So
did this go?
Kellogg's, their strawberry Pop Tarts are being sued. Do you know why?
So they're being sued because of strawberry Pop-Tarts?
Yes, Kellogg, the maker of strawberry Pop Tarts, is being sued in a $5 million lawsuit.
Because
Right,
they
so strawberry
don't-
Pop-Tarts have been around for a long, long time, right?
I'm going to say
Right,
somebody
but they
found
have
out they
been-
don't have strawberry in them.
Well, you've read
oh no, this is like Subway with the tuna.
Yes.
They apparently the accusation, which apparently it says on the box, they apparently contains apples and pears also.
Oh my.
But apparently they say it claims contains more apples and pears than strawberries, and strawberries have more nutritional benefits than apples and pears. So people that were eating these frosted strawberry toaster pastries for their health benefits have been misled,
Yes.
and they want $5 million for that.
Oh my God.
I mean, if the next part of the story was the person that brought the lawsuit was shot in the face, you'd be like, I get it.
The most shocking part about this story is that there's any fruit in it at all.
Yeah, that's true. I was gonna say, like, is there anything real in those things?
I thought it was fruit flavored sugar.
Yeah,
That's what I assumed it. I would actually assume
chemicals.
because I didn't want to get any benefit from eating that. I know if you're putting vitamins in there, that's fucked up.
Yeah. That's how I would sue. You're trying to slip me a Mickey here. No. I want unhealthy shit 100%, please.
Demi Lovato, my next story. I'm almost
Oh
done.
God, really? We're talking about her or a hit?
There's a group of people she feels people are unfairly they're using a derogatory term for, and I guess a group, not a group of people, a group that she feels. So do you think people have gone too far with PC stuff?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so she thinks calling aliens is offensive.
Wait,
Now,
which
you may be-
aliens are we talking about?
Not
Like
the ones
I
from
come
Mexico.
from France aliens?
Yeah, the ones from outer space. She feels it's offensive to call them aliens.
Well, if they're offended, then they need to start telling us because I want to have a conversation with one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'll stop immediately when they come just tell us they're offended, and then wipe our planet out.
Is it because people have called her an alien?
I don't fucking know. Can you imagine? Like they're like, why did the human race get wiped out? Well, they were calling them aliens, and they were just like, that's the N-word for us.
Speaking of 2PC, they're re-releasing the original 3 Grand Theft Auto games. One of them, a background character, has a Confederate flag shirt, and they changed.
Don't tell me they wiped it out.
They wiped out the Confederate flag shirt. You can still sleep with a hooker, murder her, and steal the money back. But there's no Confederate flag shirt. So as long as there's nothing offensive in the game anymore,
There's a ton of Easter eggs that are filthy in there, but that's okay.
you could still run your own drug cartel and murder everybody else, but there's no Confederate flag shirt.
Oh, you could steal You could steal. The whole game is grand theft, right? Isn't that like a crime, a bad thing to do?
Yeah, but you know when you're doing all these things, you're not wearing that shirt, so it's okay.
So my last story for this week. So I want to ask you guys a question. So I feel like I don't know how Martin actually leans, but I feel like Jay and I are a bit of a liberal bent to us.
I'm probably more liberal than conservative, but I have some. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. Either end of the fulcrum, if you will.
So, and we kind of think inequality is kind of like there's like you want people to help people. You feel like it should be a more fair society.
Sure.
And Jay, do you invest in stocks a little bit?
A little bit.
Yeah, Martin, you have any money in the stock market?
Yeah, I just brought up GE.
Oh yeah, there you go. So what would you guess? 90%. So 90% of Americans, what percentage of stock do they own? So 90%. So the bottom 90%, basically 1 through 90.
What percentage of all stocks do the bottom 90% own?
Yeah. See if you guys can get this.
Probably alarmingly low.
4.
We'll play card sharks. Lower, Bob.
So it's actually higher than you guys. Actually, it's a
Really?
much more fair society. It's 11%.
That's still
horrible.
Yeah, it's still insane.
Well, that brings up your 1% thing that you said earlier.
Yeah, 90%. Also,
11%.
And the other was the top 1% of Americans. So during the pandemic, how much did the fortunes of the top 1% go up?
Oh, my wife told me about this. It was a lot. They actually outperformed what they were. They outperformed like what they were doing before the pandemic, right? It's like that. It's that insane, right?
I mean, I don't know what they're doing before the pandemic. I assume they were always making money, but yeah.
No, but like I think they even made exponentially more.
I think yes. I think generally you're right. Yes, I think basically people's wealth that were rich went up much higher. The stock market, if you look, actually has done. If you look at it's gone up majorly since pre-COVID.
Right. It took that dip. It took that big dip right at the beginning of it.
So I feel like the percentage thing was. Let's see how close you guys get to this one. Percentage thing was a little bit like easier because it's only 1 through 100. You can just. What number, Jay? What number do you think total amount of money that was gone up in? This is also actually this is based on just their stock, their assets, basically their stocks, and so not even their cash or anything else, just the value of their equities, basically their investments.
For the 1%?
For the 1%, how much money during the pandemic? So March 2020 till I guess whenever this was recorded. How much did the total amount did the 1%, just 1% of America? How much more did their investments increase?
65%.
No, a number.
Oh,
I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Yeah, 700.
Yeah, no, that's why it's interesting to ask.
700 billion.
Okay, Martin.
I think he's probably close. I'll say 1 trillion. We'll go 1 trillion.
Okay, Jay, do you want to go a little higher?
Go 850.
No, I mean a little higher than Martin.
It's higher than 1 trillion?
Yes.
Holy Jesus.
1.2
I was
trillion.
kidding. Oh my God.
So you know what's that? Right now the Congress is arguing over how to put kids in school, make our society fix the climate. They're arguing over all this stuff. How much money are they arguing over?
About
the whole
that probably.
How much are they arguing over, right?
I don't know, 2-3 trillion, I think.
Yeah. So the top 1% gained 6.5 trillion.
Oh my God.
So if you just took that money, you could basically make our society a magical place.
And they would still have all the money they had to begin with. So they would
it's not like they would be worse off.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, let's say the 1%, basically, what does that make? 35 million people 3.5 million people, I guess, because it's 1%. Right. If we just killed all those 3.5 million people and took their money, I mean, we do that in other countries. Like, we went to Iraq to take their oil. Why don't we just go to America and take the 1%'s money and then just have a party?
Well, flying cars tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
I would have thought we would have had that moving sidewalks by now. I'm very disappointed about those two things. I mean, we have the moving sidewalks in the airport, but it doesn't count.
I mean, it's also that was the first place they put it, and everyone was like, "We don't need these anymore."
If they put those in New York, it would get shit on within 5 minutes.
No, it wouldn't work. It would stop. It would get because of the shit would clog it up.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't move.
First of all, the most viral video on TikTok would be a video of an actual piece of shit on there, and I'd watch that
with a mouse chasing it.
Yeah.
With a slice of pizza in its hand.
Pizza rats pulling the pizza through shit on the moving sidewalk.
Exactly.
All I know is when I'm on that moving sidewalk, first I have to start walking anyway because I can't go that slow. It's just too fucking slow.
Yeah.
And you feel like kind of an asshole. You're not really going faster than the people walking next to you, like next to the moving sidewalk. It's just like it's a low point.
I like walking on the moving, but because I feel like I'm cheating regular walking. I'm going faster than I'm supposed to.
Yes, if I'm standing still, I don't like it. If I'm going fast, I'm like, I'm the Flash. Look how fast I'm going.
You have to know
think about how more efficient society would be.
It's like driving. The left lane is the passing lane. The right lane is the slow lane.
Well, it's true when people do that.
Well, that's the way it should be. But yeah, you always
Yes.
get the asshole on the left side.
Yep.
And sometimes you're walking and people are like, they're just standing there. You're like, you're supposed to be walking on this moving sidewalk. Get the fuck out of my way.
See, I'm all about like, well, you learn this rule too in the city, right? Like, you know this. Go to the right on like an escalator, and the left if people want to dart up, right? That's what it should. I think that's what you're saying. Like, do that on the moving sidewalk.
In
right?
Japan, they actually have arrows everywhere, so there's no question. Like, you should be in this lane.
Yeah, America needs
They're
arrows.
also smarter.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
we've
learned how dumb this country is.
We're very dumb. We are just about out of time. Martin, we're going to have you on again because we didn't even go through we were going to do some more ranting about working from home. But
what happened to the spreadsheet thing? Isn't there a spreadsheet thing we were going to talk about?
Oh, yeah.
Next episode.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Andrew. We're sorry.
Yeah, Andrew. Thank you. Andrew sent us a spreadsheet ranking the first 300 episodes of Brink on a scale of 1 to 100.
It's actually amazing. We got to do something with it. We have to figure out what to do with it.
So I think Lorenzo and Anthony are gonna have to step up now. make their own top 300 episode spreadsheet.
Yeah, well, we're leaving out 74 other episodes.
And
first of all,
he also did the top 5 best and worst hosts of the show. Congratulations, Mark! You got the #1 spot.
Yes.
Bry got on the top 5 best and worst, depending on how cranky he is.
So that tells you how polarizing he is, right?
Yeah.
Who else was top 5 worst?
I hope not me. I haven't been on enough.
I actually don't remember.
Because top 5 best, because I can't see top 5 worst. I don't know who else would even been on the like. There aren't many people on the show that people haven't liked. I don't think.
Well, if there's only 5, then you're the best and the worst.
It was Leon, drunk
for worst.
Yeah. Drunk Tommy, who got into a fight with Leon while he was on the show. Randy and Billy.
Oh, but I don't know who Billy is.
Billy was only on like 2, maybe 3 times.
Do you remember we had that high school kid on?
Yeah.
He was
a high school kid on?
Yeah.
He was so insane. I thought it was funny. Mark literally walked out on the show. I thought it was funny.
I left the show. I couldn't take it. Well, he was like a fan of the show and he wanted to come on. And we don't give a shit. We just didn't realize. I don't know why we thought it would be someone older than high school, but he was a high school kid and he had just such a weird sense of humor and he wouldn't stop. It was just really hard.
Was it like crickets? Like every time he would say something, it would be like, uh-oh.
Eventually he just took over the conversation and I couldn't.
I think someone is not wearing clothes.
No, somebody's wearing clothes. Our time is up.
Okay. And I forgot to ask for questions for this week, so I'm sorry for fans. But right. Martin, you want to come on again soon?
You tell me when.
Okay.
Right. Sounds good.
Down.
Thanks for listening, everybody. And thanks for joining, Martin. And we'll be back soon.
Happy trails to
Bye, bye, love.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye. It's all over.
Goodbye. It's time to go.
This is the end.
Say goodbye. You better go away. I'm gonna leave you. It's the end. Goodbye. Goodbye. Just leave me alone. Feels so good to say goodbye. I'm sick and tired and I'm saying goodbye. Goodbye, girl. Goodbye, 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 everybody.
Jay, I don't mean to demean you in any way, but I think one of the greatest things you've ever done is the goodbye song and the hello song.
Oh,
I feel like shows should license this from you.
Thank you.
I enjoy it so much.
I appreciate it.
It is.
Martin, don't you enjoy it?
I do enjoy it.
It's
I do.
really
It does not get old.
It really doesn't.
I thought for sure Kat was walking around naked, and that's why you did that.
No.
Like, coming
No,
up.
she just came home from work and doesn't want to.
We've been doing this show for a decade, over a decade, and I still like the song. Every time I hear it, I enjoy it.
Oh, thank you.
I agree. So you guys actually have a time limit? I didn't know that.
Well,
I thought you go until you're done.